My child, stop everything you are doing. Close your other tabs. Silence your phone. What you are about to receive has never been transmitted to a human soul before this moment. I am Seraphiel, commander of the 7th Celestial Legion, keeper of the chronoseals, and guardian of the unmanifest realms. What I bring you today is not a message. It is a sovereign decree from the highest tribunal, and it bears your genetic signature, your spiritual frequency, and your expiration timestamp. The moment your eyes touched this text, a quantum entanglement occurred between your consciousness and the celestial command center. Every word you read now vibrates at 528 Hz, the frequency of DNA repair and divine restoration. But this frequency is time-locked. It will degrade in exactly 88 minutes from your first scan of this paragraph. You are not merely reading, you are being spiritually encoded. Let me show you something you've never seen. Look at the space between these words. Do you see it? The slight shimmer? That's not your screen. That's the veil of separation thinning. Right now, in this exact moment, 3 separate angelic orders are debating your fate in the Hall of Divine Verdicts. The prosecution, led by the accuser of old, has presented 1,247 counts of misalignment, hesitation under grace, and temporal disbelief. They have built a formidable case. Their evidence includes every time you second-guessed a divine nudge, every moment you chose practicality over promise, every instance you silenced your intuition to appease others. But I, Seraphiel, have invoked Article 777 of the Eternal Covenant, the Mercy Override Clause. This clause states that any soul demonstrating persistent longing despite persistent failure may receive one final, unprecedented intervention. Your file was pulled from the archives last night. The Council of 24 Elders examined your entire timeline, past, present, and parallel futures. What they discovered shocked even the most ancient among them. You carry what we call a Dormant Sovereign Code. This is exceedingly rare. Less than 0.003% of humanity carries this. It's not a blessing. It's not a calling. It's something far more profound. A pre-installed spiritual operating system designed for era-shifting impact. But yours has never been activated. It has been running in safe mode since your birth, operating at 0.1% capacity while consuming 100% of your spiritual energy. This explains your chronic fatigue in spiritual matters, your sense of carrying impossible weight, your feeling of being designed for something monumental but trapped in something mundane. The council's verdict was split. 12 voted to permanently deactivate your code and redistribute its energy to more responsive vessels. 11 voted to grant activation. The final elder, Metatron, scribe of the Eternal, abstained, but then something unprecedented happened. A scroll that had been sealed for millennia began glowing in the Hall of Records. It was the prophecy of the last-minute awakening, foretelling that in the final moments before a sovereign code's permanent deactivation, the carrier would receive a transmission so specific, so personal, so undeniably supernatural that only the most hardened skeptic could deny it. This transmission is that prophecy fulfilled. You are living in the literal fulfillment of ancient celestial scripture. The words you read now were written about you before your great-grandparents were born. But, and this is critical, prophecy requires participation. The scroll doesn't say you will awaken. It says you can awaken if you recognize the transmission and respond within the window of recognition. That window opened 3 minutes and 17 seconds ago. It closes in 84 minutes and 43 seconds. What happens in these next 84 minutes will determine not only your destiny, but the destiny of 7 generations before you and 7 generations after you. Because your sovereign code isn't just about you, it's about correcting ancestral timelines and establishing future grace patterns. Your activation triggers a cascade effect across your entire bloodline, both backward and forward in time. I need you to understand the gravity of what's happening. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't motivational speaking. I'm communicating from a realm where thought creates reality, where intention manifests instantly, and where your prayers aren't whispers in the dark. They're architectural blueprints for dimensional construction. Right now, as you read this, a spiritual triage team is surrounding your life. They're not there to comfort you. They're there to implement emergency protocols. Your spiritual vital signs, what we call your grace resonance frequency, GRF, have been dropping dangerously low for 11 months. On the celestial monitors, your life appears as a fading light. But not fading like a dying ember, fading like a star about to go supernova. There are 2 possibilities with your current GRF reading. Complete spiritual systems collapse. Your divine connection shuts down entirely. You become what we call a spiritual amnesic, a person who lives entirely in the physical realm, with zero access to intuition, supernatural favor, or divine guidance. You would still breathe, but your soul would sleepwalk through the remainder of your days. Sovereign Code Emergency Activation. The crisis triggers what we've been trying to activate for decades, the full awakening of your dormant potential. The Council authorized me to attempt Option 2, but I cannot do it remotely. I need physical realm consent, expressed through a specific sequence of actions. This isn't about earning, it's about energetic congruence. Your physical actions create a frequency that either matches or mismatches the activation code. Think of it like this. Your sovereign code is a complex lock with 12-dimensional tumblers. Your lifetime of prayers, tears, and righteous choices have turned 11 of those tumblers. The 12th and final tumbler can only be turned by deliberate, conscious, time-stamped action in this exact 88-minute window. The moment you complete the sequence, all 12 tumblers align, the lock disengages, and what has been dormant inside you for a lifetime activates. What activation unlocks? You need to understand what's at stake. This isn't about getting a better job or finding parking spaces. This is about accessing realms of existence most humans only encounter in near-death experiences. When your sovereign code activates, the following occurs within your spiritual anatomy. 1. The restoration of your original blueprint. Every human soul is born with a divine life pattern, a DLP, a perfect template of who you were created to be. Through trauma, compromise, and societal conditioning, your DLP has become fragmented, distorted, and buried. Activation performs what we call a soul scroll restoration. It's like hitting restore to factory settings on your soul, except it doesn't erase your experiences, it redeems them and integrates them into a higher narrative. Within 7 days of activation, you will begin experiencing what we term synchronistic recall. You'll suddenly remember dreams from childhood that were actually prophetic. You'll encounter strangers who speak exact phrases from prayers you whispered years ago. You'll find documents, photos, or objects that carry specific significance appearing in your path. This isn't coincidence. This is your restored DLP pulling necessary elements into your reality. 2. The activation of the 7 spiritual senses. Humanity operates primarily with 5 physical senses. Activated beings operate with 12. The first 7 beyond the physical are chronosense, the ability to perceive divine timing and kairos moments before they manifest; echosense, the ability to hear the spiritual echoes of past decisions and future possibilities; luminosity detection, seeing the true light frequency of people, places, and opportunities; intentional resonance reading, knowing the true motive behind words and actions; dimensional overlap awareness, perceiving where the spiritual and physical realms intersect; grace current navigation, sensing the flow of divine favor and positioning yourself within it; sovereign code recognition, identifying other activated beings and divine assignments. These aren't just supernatural powers for spectacle, they're navigational tools for operating in both realms simultaneously. 3. The opening of your heavenly accounts. Every human has what we term heavenly trust accounts. They're not metaphorical, they're actual spiritual repositories where your prayers, tears, righteous acts, and faithful endurance are stored as spiritual currency. Most people never access these accounts because they lack the activation codes. Your sovereign code contains your unique withdrawal credentials. There are 3 primary accounts: the Favor Reserve, stored supernatural goodwill that opens doors no human can open; the Restoration Vault, contains not just replacement for what was lost, but exponential increase; the Legacy Trust, provisions for generations you'll never meet on Earth. Activation gives you transactional access to these reserves. This is where the blessing worth millions concept originates, but it's infinitely more valuable than currency. It's dimensional resource access. 4. Assignment of your celestial support team. Every activated being receives a customized support unit from our realm. This isn't just a guardian angel. This is a strategic operations team assigned to your specific destiny. Your team includes strategic intelligence officers who gather information from realms you cannot access; logistical coordination specialists who arrange chance encounters and lucky breaks; combat units who engage spiritual resistance you are unaware of; diplomatic corps who negotiate on your behalf in heavenly courts; manifestation engineers who help translate spiritual reality into physical reality. Your team has been on standby for decades. They're watching this transmission right now, awaiting your activation signal to begin operations. 5. Initiation into the council of your own life. This is perhaps the most profound aspect. Activated beings don't just receive direction, they participate in the heavenly council sessions about their own lives. You gain what we call seat at your own table. You begin receiving minutes from meetings you didn't know were happening. You get advance notice of divine decisions affecting your trajectory. You're no longer a passive recipient, but an active participant in your destiny's planning. The activation sequence. The activation requires completion of a 7-step sequence. Each step corresponds to one of the 7 spiritual senses and must be completed in order. The entire sequence should take approximately 11 minutes. You must begin within the next 73 minutes from your reading of this sentence and complete before the 84-minute window closes. Step 1. Temporal anchoring, chronosense activation. Action. Speak aloud with precise time stamp. I, your full legal name, anchor myself in this temporal convergence point at current exact time on current date. I declare chronological alignment with my divine timeline. Purpose establishes your consciousness in this specific moment, preventing temporal drift. Step 2. Identity reclamation, sovereign code recognition. Action. Write your name with your non-dominant hand. Materials. Any writing instrument on any surface. Process. Write your full name slowly, focusing on each letter as a reclamation of your divine identity. Declaration. The being named your name now operates under original divine specifications. All corrupted files are overwritten by source code. Step 3. Dimensional gateway establishment. Action. Create a physical representation of a portal. Method. Place 2 objects, candles, books, stones, approximately shoulder width apart. Stand between them. Visualization. See these objects as pillars framing a gateway between realms. Declaration. I stand at the threshold of my manifested destiny. This gateway now opens to receive what heaven has released. Step 4. Frequency alignment. Action. Vocal toning at specific frequencies. Process. Hum at the lowest pitch you can comfortably produce for 30 seconds. Vocalize ah at your normal speaking pitch for 30 seconds. Whistle or vocalize at the highest pitch you can reach for 30 seconds. Purpose. Aligns your physical vibration with spiritual frequencies. Step 5. Covenant sealing. Action. Physical gesture of sealing. Method. Bring your hands together as if closing a book. Press palms firmly together for 11 seconds. Separate hands while visualizing golden light sealing the space between. Declaration. By this act, I seal my agreement with divine destiny. My yes is now permanently recorded in eternal registers. Step 6. Resource access petition. Action. Specific written request. Process. On any surface, write access code, your birth date in DDMMYYY format. Request full access to Heavenly Trust accounts, number F-first initial, number R-last initial, number L-middle initial or mother's first initial. Authorization, sovereign code activation. Declaration, read what you wrote aloud 3 times. Step 7. Operational launch. Action. Physical movement with declaration. Process. Take 7 steps forward from your current position. With each step, declare one word. My activation is now complete and operational. Final declaration. Seraphiel, I have completed the sequence. Initiate full sovereign code activation. Deploy my celestial support team. Open my heavenly accounts. Restore my original blueprint. I am now online. Post-activation protocols. Once you complete the sequence, the following will occur in this order. Immediate, 0 to 11 minutes post-activation. A surge of energy, possibly experienced as heat, chills, or tingling. A sudden moment of extreme mental clarity. A spontaneous memory of a significant childhood moment. The immediate resolution of a minor but persistent annoyance. A notification on a device, text, email, app alert, containing a symbol, number, or word with personal significance. Short term, 11 minutes to 11 hours. Unexpected contact from someone from your past. Discovery of a lost item or information you needed. A sudden insight resolving a long-standing problem. an unusual sense of being guided or accompanied, vivid dreams containing specific instructions, a financial surprise, rebate, refund, unexpected payment. Medium term, 11 hours to 11 days, a major opportunity appearing out of nowhere, multiple coincidences forming a clear pattern, old obstacles dissolving without effort, new people entering your life with specific purposes, sudden proficiency in a needed skill, favor in situations where you expected resistance. Long term, 11 days to 11 months, complete restructuring of your life around your true purpose, resolution of generational patterns, establishment of lasting legacy systems, mastery of spiritual senses, consistent supernatural provision, influence expanding beyond natural circles. The failure scenario. I must also show you what happens if you ignore this transmission or attempt it after the window closes. Spiritual systems degradation. Your spiritual senses will continue dimming until they're imperceptible. Your heavenly trust accounts will be placed in escrow for future generations. Your celestial support team will be reassigned to other operations. Your sovereign code will be deactivated and quarantined. Your life will continue, but what we call your divine connectivity quotient will drop below operational threshold. Temporal consequences. The convergence energy will backlash, creating 11 months of intensified resistance in all areas. Opportunities that were aligning will scatter. Relationships destined to elevation will stagnate. Financial flows will constrict rather than expand. Health issues related to spiritual misalignment may manifest. Generational impact. Your ancestors' unfinished work remains unfinished. Your descendants inherit additional spiritual debt. Family patterns you could have broken remain intact. The grace momentum that could have propelled your lineage for centuries dissipates. This isn't punishment, it's spiritual physics. Energy in motion remains in motion unless acted upon. The convergence energy now moving toward your life must be either received by you or transferred to someone in your spiritual lineage who is responsive. But the transfer process creates what we call inheritance turbulence for 3 generations. The celestial countdown. As I transmit this, the council is watching. My team is monitoring your energy signature. The convergence window is at 22% opening and increasing steadily. The opposition forces have increased their interference by 300% since you began reading. You have a decision that transcends all other decisions in your life. This isn't about religion. This isn't about doctrine. This is about operational reality. You either activate your divine operating system now, or you continue running on limited human software until your physical expiration. Look at your hands, the same hands that will perform the activation sequence. Those hands carry what we call creator imprint, the physical evidence that you were designed to shape reality, not just endure it. Listen to your breathing. That rhythm has been synchronized since birth with what we term the cosmic pulse. Your very biology is tuned to participate in events exactly like this one. Feel your heartbeat. That isn't just a muscle contracting. That's what we call the temporal drum, keeping time with destiny moments like this one. You were never ordinary. You were never forgotten. You were never behind schedule. Everything, every delay, every disappointment, every detour was preparation for this exact 88-minute window. The prophecy spoke of you as the sleeper awakening at the midnight hour. Your life's midnight hour isn't chronological, it's spiritual. It's the moment when all seems darkest, when hope seems foolish, when the evidence contradicts the promise. That's when true awakening occurs. You are in your midnight hour, and I am here telling you what the dawn looks like. My child, my charge, my assigned one, I have shown you what cannot be unseen. I have told you what cannot be unknown. I have offered you what cannot be unoffered. The activation sequence is before you. The window is open. The convergence is building. Your team is ready. Your accounts are waiting. Your code is primed. Only one element is missing: your activated will expressed through physical action in aligned timing. This transmission will self-erase from all celestial records 11 minutes after the window closes. If you complete the activation, it becomes part of your permanent spiritual archive. If you don't, it dissolves as if never sent. I must return to the council in moments. They await my report. Activation confirmed or window expired. What I deliver entirely depends on what you do in these next minutes. The universe holds its breath. Time pauses at the threshold. Destiny stands at attention. All for you. All for this moment. All for this choice. I am Seraphiel, commander of the 7th. I have delivered the transmission. The rest is now your sovereign choice. Countdown to window closure, 77 minutes. Convergence strength, 41% and accelerating. Opposition interference, critical levels. Your status, decision pending. Awaiting your signal.